Hello, Algebra 1. This lesson, we're going to start taking a look at something called the quadratic formula. You might have seen this written on the sideboard in our classroom all semester, where x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is a way we're going to use to solve quadratic equations when factoring doesn't work. And factoring doesn't always work. We can always fall back on the quadratic formula. That's going to work for us just about every single time. So I'm going to break looking at the quadratic formula, however, into two separate lessons. So this will be the quadratic formula, part 1. It's going to be a pretty quick lesson. We're just going to go through one example here. And basically, it's going to be rewriting equations so we're ready to use this quadratic formula. So all I want you to do today is we're going to rewrite our quadratic equations into our correct standard form, and we're going to identify what A, B, and C are. And that's where we're going to stop. That's going to get us ready to use the quadratic formula, but I just want us to handle that first part right now. We're going to stop right there. So let me show you what I mean. We have the standard form of a quadratic equation right here. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We need to have our equations written in the equation in this format in order to correctly apply the quadratic formula. So what we're going to do practice today is just rewriting equations into this format and identifying a, b, and c. A is going to be the coefficient that goes along with x squared all the time. A goes with x squared. B is going to be the coefficient that goes along with x all the time. B always goes with x. C is going to be our constant hanging out by itself on the end. So you can think of C stands for constant. Okay, C is by itself. It's the constant all the time. So let's look at an example. If you were given x squared minus 6x equals 27 minus 12x. This is obviously not in the format we need. We need to rewrite this. So we need it all first to equal 0. So we need to move everything from this right side over to our left side. So let's start first by subtracting 27 from each side. We would get x squared minus 6x minus 27 equals, the positive 27 and negative 27 cancel out, equals negative 12x. Still not there. We need to move this 12x over. So I'm going to add 12x to each side. I will get x squared minus 6x minus 27 plus 12x equals, well, now these cancel out, and I'm left with a 0. Still not quite in the format I need. I need to combine these like terms. So I'll have x squared, negative 6x, and a positive 12x. Well, that equals a positive 6x minus 27 equals 0. So finally, I've now reached standard equation. I have ax squared plus bx plus c. So I need to identify what my a is, what my b is, and what my c is. A is my coefficient, remember, that goes with x squared. What's my coefficient here? Well, if there's nothing here, it's a 1. B is my coefficient that goes with x. I see 6 here. I check my sign. If this is a negative, my b needs to be negative. This is a subtraction sign, but it's not. It's positive, so we can just go with a positive 6. And finally, c is going to be my constant, hanging out at the end with its sign. I have that subtraction sign here, so my c is a negative 27. And that's it for this part of the lesson. Okay, so all I want you to practice, and that's what your homework's going to be. You're going to have 10 equations, kind of in a jumbled format, that I need you to rewrite into the standard format we have here. And then you need to correctly identify A, B, and C. We'll hold off on using the quadratic formula with these until the second part of our lesson. Right now, I just want you to get good at rewriting the equation correctly and identifying A, B, and C. So if you go ahead and start your homework now. If you got any questions, please give me an email.